I will move on now. Nicolas Ducote. He comes from the field of policymaking, moving from one to the other in very flexibly. He is the current Undersecretary of Political Affairs in the government of the city of Buenos Aires. That's, those who don't know, it's in Argentina. He is the co-founder and the former executive director of the Center for Implementation for Public Policies for Equity and Growth, a leading think tank in Argentina and Latin America. He has held posts of Director of the National School of Government, Director of the Center for International Cooperation in Public Administration, and board member of the National Institute of Public Administration. Well, he had been also with the Transparency International, UN, and Inter-American Bank, and other places, working as a consultant and as an advisor. He has written extensively, and he holds a master's in public policy from the Kennedy School of Government, Harvard. And most importantly, he is not biased by all the discussions you had yesterday and today day before. Mm-hmm. So he is going to say something totally being innocent of all the deep discussions and debates you have been hearing. And he made a comment. If I say something which you have not discussed already, then it is not important enough to be discussed. Let's see what he says. Nicolas.
So, thank you. I've had the rare privilege of spending more hours traveling here and back than here, which means that since I arrived yesterday and before I leave, what I've spent most of my energy and time is talking to about a third or half of you and trying to get as much as I could of your experiences and conversations here. When I was chatting before the panel with Deb about this, he said, okay, don't fall into the common phrases that you've picked up that you don't find meaningful. And I could obviously start this presentation saying we've talked about the ability to influence policy and what our challenges are there, or how do we improve the quality of our research, how do we build sustainable institutions. But for the purpose of the three things that I think are the most meaningful I've picked up from your discussions, I would emphasize three, and they're obviously biased by my own perspective. The first are to be successful, we need to improve, improve our ability to link the work the think tanks do with those of us in government service or in public policy field. As a group and as a set of organizations, I feel you are all, and we are all much stronger on our research side than on our ability to influence policy. Most of you are comfortable with engaging academics. You've all got significant degrees or experiences acquired in years of discussing topics. I think we need to do more in terms of enhancing our success to be able to move our energy and our work into the political and the policy arena, not by taking partisan positions, but by putting much more of our energy in delivering the product of our work, not only in terms of broad communication, but in terms of changing the minds, the passion, and the willingness to bring about change in public servants and in government officials. The second thing that I found meaningful, and I especially take it away for my country and the organizations that work there, is the need to balance these different efforts we put. The need to balance the amount of effort we put into quality research, the amount of effort we put into effective advocacy, and the amount of energy we put into good public management, or good organizational management. And an example that I bring to this is from agriculture in Argentina. Argentina does many things badly, and I am, in a small part, also responsible for those things we don't do better. But one of the things that my country does relatively well is we are competitive in some agricultural production. And a big change that has occurred over the past 20 and 30 years is that before, to be a competitive agricultural producer, you had to be the owner of an extensive plot of land and have the capital and the manpower to work that land. The biggest and most successful current operators in our agricultural market are not people who actually own any land. They're people who can integrate the different phases of agriculture. So they can convince landowners to put their land as part of the process. They can convince machinery owners to lend or rent the machines. They can convince the purchasers to buy from them. And they integrate all these aspects. And that's given them a scale of operation where most of the value that they're adding is the ability to integrate. And I bring this to our conversations and the think tanks here because I think the strongest factor for success of a think tank is its ability to integrate good quality research with impact in the policy environment, with good management and institutional development. And I think we have to develop more of our skills in getting these three things to work in a timely and adequate manner because we're usually much better at one of them than at the other. And the last part of my comment has to do with the opposite of success. Deb was asking, what are the features of success? And one of the conversations we've had yesterday and today in the morning has to do with the lessons learned from failure. And at least, again, in personal things, what I take back is I need to do more to instill the learning from failure process in my organization. We have to have more ability to understand what we learned about the cases that didn't work well, and how do we set in a mechanism for regularly asking the question, what are we not doing as well as we should? What could we be doing better? And I think, again, that's one of the things that instills a spirit of achievement and wanting to improve, which are essential to being able to be successful.
Yes, thank you, Nicholas. You see, this issue is coming for the third time now. Each of you, the three speakers till now, have mentioned it. Linda has mentioned about the political acumen and ability to interface with the policy process. Moses has mentioned that you need to engage through interlocutors with the policy process. That is important, with champions and partnership. And you also say that two critical words, link and integrate. Link and integrate. So the assumption is that the think tanks do research better, relatively, in comparison to their communication or their interfacing with the policy world. Is that what you're saying?
This is what I'm saying. This is my experience in not only the 10 years that I spent at CPEC, but in GDN conferences, at my TTI conversations, or at the IAG meetings we have before and after these meetings, is that usually, again, in our different contexts, our biggest challenge is attracting talented people to work for us. But we have a bias towards bringing much more talented people from university than bringing talented people from former government or advocacy positions into our organizations.
Colleagues, I request you to pick up this discussion in your tables, because this is a very, very important structural issue that we get more comfortable with the researchers, young researchers with a PhD in our center, but we would possibly not be so comfortable with a person who has served in the government. Although Nancy in the morning yesterday has mentioned that how those who have some experience in policymaking are more useful within the think tank as you move with that. But how do you do in a very politically charged environment in a developing country? That's a different issue, whether it will put a bias or a perception problem if you have certain government, certain person in the think tank or not. So let's see how it moves on that. But this is a very important issue. You wanted to say
yes,
in 10 seconds something?
Or I just want to get back to your point is, I think we have to consume as much as we can the information that these insightful characters or people might bring, even if we cannot do so publicly.
Okay. Thank you. He is now suggesting conspiracy.